Hey y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025, and this is episode 79. I'm Susan. You can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative 1. That's the Arabic numeral 1. If you're new here, I appreciate you checking me out and I hope you like what you see. And if you're returning, as always, I appreciate you coming back. Excuse me. Hopefully this one's not going to be too long today, but you know, I say that and then I end up being an hour long. But anyway, it is March. I can't believe February's already gone, but February always seems to fly by so fast. So moving into hearsay, not much work. Work is picking up. I've been working a lot. The only other thing of note is we got a new bed. We upgraded to a king size from a queen size. I screwed up. The queen size bed, we've always had a bed that's kind of high. In other words, I'm short. I'm not quite 5'1". And I've always had to climb onto the bed that we had. We upgraded to a king size, and I had hoped that we were also getting a little bit lower bed because, you know, as I get older, climbing onto the bed was, I could still do it, but you know, I'm getting older. So anyway, long story short, long story medium, whatever. The bed we looked at in the store, you know, was lower. But the bed we ordered was the same bed, but with storage drawers underneath. And when we looked at the model, I envisioned the drawers probably raising the mattress a little bit, but mostly going under where the mattress was. And I've looked at the picture of the bed we ordered online, and I think even just looking at the picture, I would not have realized this. But anyway, the storage drawers instead took up a lot of space of where the mattress was on the model. So as a result, our new bed is actually 5 to 6 inches higher than the bed we had. And I could not climb up onto it. The first night we had it, I had to climb onto the cedar chest at the foot of the bed and climb up the bed that way. But I was meeting my parents for lunch last Sunday, and they have a nice set of bed stairs that goes with their bed, but that they do not use. It sits down in the guest room, just kind of off to the side. So they were kind enough to bring me the bed stairs that they had. So now I have to go upstairs to get into my bed. For now, it's workable. We love the bed, and I love the storage underneath. It's just, it's higher than what we had, which was not the point. So, and that's totally on me. It didn't occur to me. I made some assumptions that I should not have made. I should have asked more questions because we didn't actually see the bed we were ordering. And it was, of course, a custom order and can't be returned. Long term, we're talking about some options of the bed. Actually, part of one of the reasons the bed is so high is because does actually have legs that are, I'm horrible at gauging distances, but this high before you get to the bottom of the drawer. And my husband is a woodworker, so at some point we may end up chopping those legs off and turning it to where the drawers sit on the floor. I mean, there is structure around the door, so the drawers would still function. We may turn it into more of a literal platform bed eventually. But for now, it's working with the stairs, and it's nice to have a king-size bed and have a little bit more room. I have gotten to where I've got to sleep with, like, pillow between my knees and my arms wrapped around the pillow for cubital tunnel. And, it's just nice to have a little bit more room to get the body's aches and pains in the right position. So, anyway, so that's about it for hearsay, other than, like I said, work is picking up. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm actually going into work tomorrow for a few hours because I've reached the point where I cannot get it all done during the week. So, that will be my life, not necessarily every weekend, but probably several weekends between now and at least, early May. So we'll move on to the crafting. So I'm checking my notes to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. First up is verdicts, and I actually have 3 verdicts this time. Three? 3 verdicts this time. 2 of them are knitting and 1 of them is cross stitch. First up is the Helix hat that I showed you last time I was working on. This pattern is Stash Busting Helix Hats by Jessica Rose. That pattern is available on Ravelry. I think it's a free pattern if I remember correctly. I did this out of Malabrigo Rios in the colorways Paris Night, which is the dark blue, Lettuce, which is the green, and Denim, which is the lighter blue. So I finished that. And then using the same yarn, I just did a plain stockinette hat. Nothing, I used kind of the same measurements as the Helix hat as far as the number I cast on and the decreasing. But I just kind of winged it, did some ribbing, and then navy and stripes. And I have enough yarn left over that I can get one more hat out of these 3 colors, but it'll be probably the lighter blue will be the primary color instead of the navy this time. So got those done. I'm trying to use up some of my stash and some smaller projects, and those will all generally probably be donated somewhere. I'm probably just going to accumulate some over the next year until at least the fall when it starts to get cool again, and then I'll just take them somewhere and donate them. And then the cross stitch finish I had, I showed you last time, was a New Start. This is Winter Walk. This is by Pigeon Coop Designs. It's from his Into the Forest. Is that the name of the book? I'm sorry, I didn't think to bring the book over here. I will put up a picture in a moment of what the book looks like, should you be interested. Excuse me, I just did this on 14 count white Aida with all the called for DMC floss. There's a couple of mistakes in there. Some of my little light blue snowflakes are not quite in the right place because I miscounted, and I missed a space up here that should have been left blank to look like a snowflake, but you know, it is what it is. No, you wouldn't know that if I hadn't pointed it out to you. So anyway, I really enjoyed working on this. It was a nice, quick, simple stitch. I started this February 7th at the Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat, and I finished it Thursday night, the 27th. So it was only like 3,100 stitches. So when I started it on 14 count 8, I was thinking, oh, this will be a good project to tote around. But then, as I often do with smaller projects, is it small enough? I was like, oh, I can just knock this out. So anyway, I did. That's why I don't always have why I don't have a lot of smalls, is because they tend to be small enough that I want to get them finished. They don't linger the way the medium, large, and extra large projects that I do, that I do. So anyway, enjoyed working on that. And I've got a huge piece of white Aida because I'm probably just going to do some more on here before I do anything to fully finish those. So that is it for verdicts. We'll move on to court is in session. First up, I will show you knitting. These are my socks in the Flying Sock Monkey bag, and I showed you I'd started these last time. I just thought I'd show them to you again because I did get through a full repeat of the yarn. I do all my socks 2 at a time, toe up on 2 circulars, US 02 millimeter needles, and this yarn is Lollipop Yarn Quintessential Base in the colorway Mood. And so, like I said, I did get through a full repeat of the colorway because last time I think I was down here somewhere. So, I just thought I'd show them to you so you could see what the full colorway looked like. So these are what ride around in my pocketbook and get a little bit here and there. And I probably will not show them to you again until I at least get the heels done because they won't be much different. Okay, so we'll get to the cross stitch. First up, let me give you my February stats. In February, I did 15,311 stitches in 26 days and 71 hours. I worked on 11 projects. I started 1 project, I finished 2 projects, and so my current whip count is 92, which is down 1. So, as you can see, of course, February is a shorter month, but also I had less stitching time in February, in part due to, January. I had a little bit of time off the first of the month, and also, like I said, work's getting busier. Just for comparison's sake, in January, I had 23,726 stitches in 28 days and 104 hours. So I stitched 2 less days, but I stitched almost 30 less hours this month. And that's largely due to, like I said, in part, I had some vacation at the beginning of January, and also my stitching time in the evenings has been reduced because I've been working later, and so I'm getting maybe an hour or 2 of stitching time at night, whereas previously I could generally stitch 3 to 4 hours a night if I wanted to. So anyway, so we'll move on to the project, the WIPs. First up is in this Ruth Bader Ginsburg bag by Lynn X Stitch Creates. And this is Kingdom of Books by, I'm sorry, if you're new here, as I talk, I will put up a picture of what the pattern will look like when I'm finished, and then I will also put up a picture of what it looked like the last time that you saw it. So this is Kingdom of Books. I bought this as a kit several years ago. This is almost my oldest WIP, and I left a thread hanging. This is the full coverage pattern that I'm trying to finish this year. So I'm trying to do a minimum, excuse me. Sorry, I could feel a little tickle in my throat that I was going to cough. I did 2,000 stitches a month at least on this last year, and this year I'm starting the year with 3,000 stitches a month because I think it worked out that I need to do it like 2,600 to finish by the end of the year, but I feel like there's going to be a couple months where it might be closer to just 2,000. So anyway, this is where it currently stands. Since you last saw it, I did 1,825 stitches. I did a total of 3,000 stitches in the month of February, and it is currently at 64.6%. I'm doing this on the kit, 14 count Aida, with 3 strands for most of it. And I'll show you up a little closer. This is what I did where I worked this time. And I don't remember, I think my last picture just shows this part. So I'll put back here and hopefully I can show you. You can see kind of what I've done. I do tend to stop this one when I get to my monthly goal. I stop even on the stitches because I also use this for a challenge where I get credit for every 1,000 stitches. But if I go over, I don't get credit. I can't carry that over. So I tend to try to stick to even thousands, at least for the stopping point of the month. In the middle of the month, I'll, take the picture at 1,000 and then keep going. But, and then my next up project is in this bag that I made with Tartus fabric. This was my WIP Go call for February. My WIP Go board this year is several full coverage projects that I would like to get at least 5% done on, and so most of them are on there more than once, and it happened that in February this project was called for both numbers. So this is Minnie the 10th, which is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs based on artwork by Mandy Manzano. This is one of my smaller full coverage pieces. I started this on August 13th of 2023. And I did not, I don't remember if I had shown you this last time, did I? If I did, yeah, okay. So last time I had done 1,101 stitches. I did a total of 2,618 stitches in February. So that means I did 1,517 stitches since you last saw it. Sorry, I didn't write down the count from the last time you saw it. As you can see, probably most of it I did is over in this kind of reddish yellow area. I did fill in a little bit over here, I think, too. So I am, when it comes to full coverage, I tend to be kind of a thread complete cross-country stitcher. Cross-country within the Q-snap. Since this is a smaller one, that means all the way across. But I will pick a color kind of top left, thread my needle, and I will just go wherever that color takes me until I run out of thread, and then I'll go back to the left and pick another color and go. So you can see, I'll even show you the back. You see I carry threads all over the place on full coverage. I don't care. So, so that is, oh, and I didn't write down the percentage for that one either. I will put the percentage on this across the screen. I'm not sure. For some reason, I missed writing down the percentage on that one, and it's on my phone, which I am using to record, so. Next up is in this bag from Carrie Sews For You. This is Anzac by Long Dog Samplers. I started this on February 29th of 2024. This is my Long Dog Leap Day Sal project, and the goal is to finish it by Leap Day of 2028, which means I need to do about 600 stitches a month. I'm doing this on 40 count Lars fabric in the color Brain Fog. And I'm using Silks For You PR 038 is the primary color, which is the variegated blue-green charcoal. And then I'm also using PR 136, which is the green that's like kind of the tree. And then I have a blue and a yellow that I will use for a few little parts here and there. I did 1,241 stitches on this. Like I said, I need to hit 600 stitches a month to be able to finish this in time for Leap Day in 2028. What I'm probably doing this year, or what I did this month at least, is I did both February and March's stitches so that I don't need to pick this up again until April. So that is where that is. And next up, we get into my temperature stitching. That's really all the other stitching I did this month. And so before I show temperature stitching, I started in December. I'm doing kind of the Jessie Marie Does Stuff version where I picked 5 projects and gave them 2 numbers each. And I work 100 stitches for each time that number is called. I pull the temperatures on Sunday for the week coming up, so the projected temperatures, and stitch on pieces until I get 2,000 stitches on them. That being said, and I'm liking the temperature stitching, but as work is getting busier, I'm having a hard time getting to it. And I feel like it's limiting me from working on other things that I might want to work on. So the 5 projects that I've had, 3 of them I have now hit the minimum 2,000 on, so that leaves 2. So what I'm going to do over the next week or so is do the stitches that I need to do to get those 2 projects to a total of 2,000 for this rotation, and temperatures. And I'm not even going to pull temperatures for this next week. I didn't finish all my temperature stitching this week. I just didn't get to it. So I'm not pulling temperatures for next week. I'm just going to do the stitches on those 2 projects to get those to at least 2,000. And so temperature stitching is going to go away for now. It will probably come back once work is not so busy and I have a little bit more time. But for right now, it's going to go away. But I want to get those other 2 projects to at least 2,000 because I can't just leave them hanging like that when that's kind of the goal I set. And when I pick up temperature stitching again, I won't want to start with those 2 in the mix. I want 5 new projects. So anyway, so 3 of them I have gotten to their at least 2,000 goal. And I'll show you those. So this first up is in this bag by Lynn X Stitch Creates. This is A Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. I'm doing this on 36 count Be Stitch Me fabric in the Not Another Sampler color. I started this May 1st of 2022. And a lot of what I've done most of what I've done recently is over on this side. Since you last saw this, I did just 107 stitches. I did a total of 532 in the month of February, and it is currently at 34%. With the temperature stitching, since I started temperature stitching the 1st of December, this got a total of 2,185. And I will hopefully be putting in here a picture somewhere of what it looked like before I started using it as a temperature piece, so you can see how much progress that was. And I think I forgot to tell you, Anzac, I didn't write down the percentage. Anzac is currently at 20-some%. It's over 25%, but I don't remember now what it's at. I didn't write down that one either. But I think I just told you that Tisket-a-Tasket is currently at 34%. Next up is in this bag made for me by my friend Michelle. This is Cardinal Points. This is a pattern designed by Long Dog Sampler, but for the Gentle Art thread. So it is not available on the Long Dog website. You have to find it in a local needlework shop. There are still some that have it. You just have to kind of look around online. I started this March 8th of 2022. And I am doing it with all the called for Gentle Art thread. Most of what I did this last time is worked around that flowers under that cardinal. Since you last saw it, I did 684 stitches. I did a total of 795 in the month of February. It is currently at 27.8%. And with temperature stitching since the 1st of December, I have done 2,334 stitches. Now, I did just say my goal for these was 2,000, and obviously that's over 2,000. And I did over 2,000 on a Tisket-a-Tasket, because with these projects, since they're not full coverage, I generally would, when I got to the 100 or 200 or whatever stitches, I would finish whatever the thread was. So they usually got a little bit more than a round 100 or 200 or 300, whatever stitches each week. So that's why I got a little bit more. Oh, let me, I don't think I'm going to make sure I have time to put the picture for what it looked like before I started December 1st with the temperature stitching. Sometimes I get to talk and I get done, and then I realize when I go to edit that I did not hold something up long enough or in a place where I could get the comparison picture in. So, and then next up, this is in this bag by the Brass Button. This is one that when I made the decision this week that I was just going to get these up to at least 2,000. So like I sat down last night, worked on this one and got it to the minimum of 2,000, which was more than what it had been called for this week. But you know, I just hadn't been able to get to them this week. This is Blue Ridge. This is a smaller full coverage, charted by CrossStitch.com, based on artwork by Derek McCrae. I started this May 28th, 2022. Since you last saw it, I have done 615 stitches. In February, I did a total of 835 stitches. It is currently at 14.2%. And with temperature stitching, I did 2,154 stitches total. Next up is in this bag by Whip It Up, which I love. This is Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. Excuse me. I started this on January 8th of 2022. I'm doing it on 28 count Picture This Plus Nocturne. And I am doing it with the called for Anchor Floss. And this is where it currently is. Since you last saw it, I've done 137 stitches. Most of what I've done in February is in this horse head right there. In February, I did a total of 470 stitches. And it is currently at 42.2%. So this one needs another 300 stitches to get to the 2,000. So I will work on that. And then last up is in this brass button bag with the Grinch. This is Winter White Santa by Mirabilia. Started this January 15th of 2022. I'm doing it on 32 count XJU design in the Little Dove color. And sorry, my nose is itching. This is where it's at. The new stuff is down in that tree towards the bottom left. Since you last saw it, I've done 239 stitches. In February, I did a total of 345 stitches, and it is currently at 19.9%. This one needs another 700 stitches to get to the 2,000. This one has not come up as much on the temperature numbers. So, and that is all of the whips that I have worked on since I last talked to you. On the docket, March whip go numbers were called. I think the numbers were 9 and 24, if I'm not mistaken. For me, that means a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. I will be doing 1,800 stitches on that. And Quarantine Cats will come back out for another 1,500 stitches. I worked on that one in January. Also, my Kingdom of Books will get another 3,000 at least, hopefully. I spun my little wheel of projects that are my possible finishes for the year, and the one that came up is Love is Love by Jan Hicks. That is one of the ones that needs about 6,000 or so more stitches. So I will start trying to do at least 500 stitches a week on that one until it is finished. And then, like I said, Sleepy Hollow and Winter White Santa, I'm going to try to get those up to their 2,000, and then they'll get put away for a while. And that's really all my plans at the moment. March is probably going to be a very busy month work-wise, and so I will generally be stitching primarily on weekends, some during the week, but while the last week or two I've been getting home at 8 to 9 o'clock, and I still have an hour or two I can stitch. There may be nights going forward where I'm not getting home till 10 or 11 o'clock, and at which point I usually don't have the brain space to do any crafting whatsoever. So, we'll see how it goes. So, calendar, I am going to be in Greenville, North Carolina on Saturday, March 29th for the one-day stitch retreat there. I am probably going to go down Friday night after work and just, I made a hotel reservation for a place nearby just so I could drive down Friday night and be there early Saturday morning, because I know myself, I'm not a morning person. If I have to get up and drive Saturday, I won't get there till lunchtime, and it's just a one-day retreat. So, excuse me. The exciting news is I got into the Chatelaine retreat in July off of the wait list. So I will be in Charlotte at the Chatelaine retreat, the July 10th through 12th. And I'm looking forward to that. Cause I know several people that I know and have not seen in a while will be there. I know Pam from Stitch New England is going to be there. Memphis Sarah E. Will be there, and she did just buy the needle workshop in her local needle workshop in Memphis. So as of today, I think officially she is the new owner, and congratulations to her. I believe she's closed for a couple weeks for some renovations and reorganization and getting things straight, and then we'll be opening back up, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to road trip to Memphis. I think that's I think it's more than 8 hours, maybe 12 hours for me. I'm not sure. Anyway, I also signed up for the Stitch and Thrift Retreat in Lexington, South Carolina, the weekend of July 18th through 20th, which is the weekend after the Chatelaine retreat. And then I am signed up for the Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat in October, the first weekend of October. the 2nd through the 5th, I think. So that's all my plans for Stitchy retreats. There's some more Durham Stitch days set up. I might also, the Greensboro Stitch group is meeting at the library Sunday the 23rd. I have it on my calendar. I can't remember the exact date. It's Sunday. It's the Sunday before I'll be in Greenville, I think. And depending on how work's going, whether or not I need to go into work that day, I may or may not go to that. We'll see. It just depends on what's going on with work. I'm hoping to, because Beth, I think, is planning. Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, is planning to go, so we're hoping to meet up there. But if any of y'all are wondering why I work on Sundays instead of, say, Saturdays or whatever, largely it's just a matter of work piling up and not being able to get it all done during the week. Primarily because during the day I'm in and out of meetings, or I'm getting phone calls and, people in and out of the office and going to members' offices. And so I can do some at night after work, but sometimes, like what I need Sunday, I've got some drafting I'm working on, and I just need a solid 4 or 5 hours without interruption. I prefer to go in on Sunday because that gives me Saturday as kind of a relaxed day, and then I go in on Sunday. And I prefer to drive into the office because this is my office when I work from home. So I also get distracted here as well. Not to mention, my husband's home on the weekends, which he has every right to use his home. But that means there's noise and things, and it's just hard to concentrate for me. So while it adds additional time because I have to drive 45 miles into work and 45 miles home, I'm more productive when I really need to concentrate if I actually drive into the office. Plus, I have all my resources on my paper, and I don't have to think what to put, to get together to bring home and stuff. So anyway, I have no stashing for retirement this time. But it's shocking, right? I mean, I have absolutely bought nothing in the last 2 weeks. Well, not nothing. Nothing tangible. I have done no pre-orders for Market. I do have a list of patterns that I think I want, but I've decided I can wait until the shops get the patterns. I have spent a little money because I did have to pay for my Chatelaine retreat. I paid for the Barefoot Needle Arts retreat for October, paid for the Stitch and Thrift retreat. So I've spent some money, but I don't have anything physical to show as a result of it. So I have nothing to show you. The only thing, actually, I did get an email this morning that has my Carolyn Manning March baubles, but I haven't even downloaded them yet. So I will, maybe I'll show you those next time, but excuse me. So no stashing for retirement. So I think that's it. My clock is saying 32 minutes and 57 seconds. So that's a pretty short one for me. So hopefully, I will be back around the 15th-ish or so. We'll see how it goes. And I think that's it. I'll stop rambling now. I hope everyone is doing well. I forgot to mention, we did have a little bit of snow last week. It was nice to get a little bit, but it's beautiful here today. I think like in the 70s, although it's supposed to be cold again tomorrow. But spring is starting to show, so hopefully most of the cold weather is behind us, and we will go on. Of course, that means in North Carolina, that means pollen season, and very soon everything will be covered by yellow pine pollen. But, it is what it is. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. And I will see you later. Bye, y'all.